Hey, welcome to another episode of Ducks Quacks live at SPC 11. Very, very fortunate and honored to be here with Jared Spataro. First of all, congratulations for your 4 or 5 month old role.
That's right. Yeah, about that. A couple of months.
Can you tell everyone what you do for your SharePoint team?
Sure thing. So I run the SharePoint product management team, and I work very closely with Jeff Deeper, who runs the engineering team.
Great. Wonderful. So last we talked, Jared, was way back in February. We talked about this whole idea of SharePoint journey.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So how's that journey coming along?
This journey.
This morning you shared a lot of wonderful numbers.
Yeah.
And it looks like the journey is just coming along great. And tell everybody about those wonderful customers and stats that you shared at the keynote.
Yeah, you bet. So we talked a little bit about, just as you're saying, how the journey has gone, that we have sold over 125 million licenses of SharePoint to more than 65,000 customers. Really proud of that, not so much for the numbers, but the fact that customers have chosen to purchase SharePoint. We also talked about the fact that when you look at that scale, that gives us kind of a unique scale point to leverage for those customers. If SharePoint were a standalone business, it now would be one of the top 50 software firms in the world, which we feel great about because
amazing.
That really means that there's a lot out there for us to go and do as we work with customers. The things we're most excited about, though, aren't just those scale points. They really have to do with how customers are using SharePoint. We also said that 67% of our enterprise customers have deployed SharePoint for everyone, which is great. People often historically have thought of SharePoint as a departmental solution.
That's right. Yeah.
And so we're happy to see that. And we noted that we were #1 in satisfaction, likelihood to recommend, which is great, awareness and market share. And so those are also ways in which customers vote kind of on what they like to use, and we love to hear those stats.
And it's a great validation point, right?
It's wonderful. Yep.
One of the key message you shared this morning is enjoy SharePoint conference. And I don't want you guys to walk away saying, I didn't know SharePoint could do that. So can you expound more on that?
Yeah,
what were you describing?
You bet. Well, Jeff and I have both had kind of similar experiences in the last little while where we get to meet with a lot of executives of companies and kind of do demos of SharePoint.
Sure.
In particular, often now we're doing Office 365. He and I hear more often than not from folks like that, I didn't know SharePoint could do that, or this doesn't look like the SharePoint I use.
Right.
And it's really fun, in one particular experience I had, and I shared this with Jeff, literally one of the executives pulled out his wallet and was trying to tell me, hey, can you just take my credit card right now? I would like that right there. And that was really fun to see. And so we recognize that there is so much to SharePoint that people often don't get exposed to things that could help them in their daily work. Sure. So we just want to make sure that people at the conference, go around and figure out all the things that SharePoint can do for them, and that they take advantage of the sessions here.
And if I were to assume those things they don't know are out of the box stuff, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's right.
In my experience, one of the big aha moments is just the integration with Office.
Yep.
So when I show people, you can take your SharePoint calendar, display an Outlook, and you don't have to go back to the SharePoint site.
Yeah.
Wow, you can do that?
Yeah, exactly. Excel Services is another great example of that, where people can take an Excel workbook, publish it up, and it essentially becomes a report right there.
Absolutely.
And people love to see that. And again, I would say that most business users, even though they use SharePoint, often many of them every day, wouldn't necessarily know that SharePoint could do that.
Absolutely, and I guess the mantra that a good mantra around that I just thought about is don't ask if SharePoint can do that. Ask how SharePoint can do it.
Yeah, perfect.
Grasshopper.
I love it. I love it.
So around that lines, I just want to carry on that conversation. So what would you recommend and suggest how business can find? Let's say I'm a business user. I'm Sally from accounting, right? Mm-hmm. SharePoint can do a lot of things, as Kurt mentioned this morning. There's a lot of knobs.
Yeah. I'm
Sally from accounting. How would I best find that knob that would maximize what I do in the accounting department, doing payroll, whatever?
Yeah, you bet. There are two things that spring to mind if you're Sally from accounting. First thing, and Jeff referenced this today, there are a lot of books out there that talk about SharePoint. We have SharePoints for beginners, SharePoint for dummies. You pick if you're a beginner or a dummy or whatever you happen to be. There's stuff out there. And he noted that on Amazon there are over 1,100 books, which is a wonderful place to start. But then I would couple that with something very unique now. With the introduction of Office 365 and SharePoint Online, people can actually go try this thing themselves. So previously what we saw is, in essence, you kind of had to wait, if you're a business user, for IT to get things set up for you.
Sure.
Or at least someone with some IT skills. With the click of a button now, you can actually go spin up your own tenancy, which is a simple way of saying you can have your own SharePoint environment, and you could then experiment, free of charge with what we have there.
How long is that
It's a 30-day trial.
Wow, that's
so
great.
you get
Yeah.
a whole month to kind of use the service and see what you find. And what's really nice is the moment with that click, the moment you start it up, you have access to the things that we talked about, things like Excel services and things like access services.
Sure.
They're incredibly valuable for Sally from accounting.
One of the great things too about this conference, I know we're still talking about SharePoint 2010, but there's a lot of use cases, a lot of great stories. I find that quite valuable to see, oh yeah, I could see what eBay did would work in my organization.
Right.
And then the SharePoint Express sessions, I thought that was pretty cool. 15 minutes,
very nice.
quick tips. And a lot of those kind of piggybacked off of iUseSharePoint.com.
Mhm.
A lot of great end user adoption
Yeah.
type of just use cases. I think that's very, very valuable.
Yeah, we're at this really nice place in the adoption of SharePoint 2010. Adoption's been very strong for us. Kurt referenced that we've sold over 62 million licenses of that latest product.
For 2010 alone.
For 2010 alone. So, we've got this great momentum, but at the same time, it's been a nice way for us to celebrate. As you say, people have done a lot with it. And so we're finding, whether it's iUseSharePoint.com or other things, that as we are able to connect with people and show them what can be done, it's very easy for them to pick up on that. So we're at this great point. Last time we did a SharePoint conference, we were just so excited about the baby. We just want to show you
That's
everything
right.
we do.
Right.
And now we're excited, less about ourselves and more about what customers do.
Exactly. And just kind of going back to the first point you said, when we think about the business at the departmental level, but then it's still flexible and scalable enough for the enterprise. I was walking out of the keynote and somebody said, so what's the one thing that kind of got you in the keynote? I said that video, the NetHope thing, NetHope video,
Yep.
I mean, that is the essence of collaboration. I mean, SharePoint is great, it's a wonderful tool, but in the end, I mean, it's very compelling where it allows people to help people faster, better, more efficient.
Right on.
And there's nothing like that.
Yeah. The wonderful thing about that NetHope video that I think really got to me, I agree with you, but when I realized that NetHope itself isn't very large, they have these 33 member organizations, but through SharePoint Online, they're actually connecting 400,000 people. Most people don't recognize that. So it's an entirely new way for them to use technology. You saw an example of kind of what they're doing, which is wonderful.
Absolutely.
Really changing the world in a profound way.
And that's just one of the many, many organizations that platform like this are helping.
Yeah.
So what's the one party you're looking forward to?
One party. Oh, I'm looking forward to all of them. I can't choose just one. I really enjoy SharePoint Conference because I get a chance to meet everybody. Whether it's standing in line for coffee or whatever it happens to be. It's really fun to meet where people are coming from, what they're doing with SharePoint, what they hope to do. So I'm looking forward to it all.
I was talking to Jeff, and he's like, the analogy again, it's like my 10-year-old's having a birthday party, and everybody's throwing a party, and everybody's coming. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful event. 7,500 people, right?
Yeah, well, that's a low number. We'll be updating you with, I don't know if you saw the keynote was totally packed. It's actually a couple hundred above 75.
And then Vegas next year, right? You announced.
That's right. We're headed back to Vegas.
November 15, 17, I think. Yeah, something around there.
Yeah.
Well, good. Always great talking to you, Jared.
Very good to see you again.
Yeah.
Take care.
Great, thank you.